Why was my mic muted? Wow, that sure is a good thing. I don't know. I'm really great at this. Yeah, so I meant, yeah, I don't really know much of what kind of commentary to have in those places. It's just a lot of like, this is happening. Whatever. I will say, though, I do have the walkthrough pulled up again, because I don't want to get the wrong endings. I want to get the right wrong endings, meaning there's some wrong endings that I want to show. I showed the first one in chapter 1 because I wanted to show just what type of game this is, and there's one specific one in this chapter that I also want to show off because oh my god, I didn't see this one until I tried to play through this game a second time, because it's something you have to kind of actively track down. And oh my god, it really did it for me. It was one of those things where I was just like, I didn't think the game could, like, give me anything scary anymore, and then it did. And then I was like, oh my god. So we're gonna see that one. But until then, I need to avoid certain things and do certain things in the right order. No, not... oh. Okay, so now we're back in this. Well, oh, okay. That's where you got it from. It was literally on the screen. Valor, thy name is education. Okay. Can we just, like... oh, okay, yep, I remember this part. I need to make sure that my phone stands up properly. So we're gonna avoid all that. Go down first. Because there's a certain item that we need to get for the best ending. In the rest of the game. I haven't seen what the ending looks like without this item, and frankly I don't want to, yet. At some point I will. But not for this. We're taking this crystal. Power Stone. It's like some kind of gemstone or something. We're gonna give it to her. That Power Stone is something that character specifically needs to hold. Or at the very least, I can't be. In order to give the best ending. I'll explain why later. Actually, no, there's another wrong end I want to show off in this. Alright, gotta go into the stairwell here. Gotta grab this thing. I'm a little upset that since I already know what's happening, I can't provide the quote-unquote authentic experience of this game. Because, like, my reaction is just gonna be, like, just deadpan. For the most... well, it's either gonna be deadpan, or it's gonna be like, ooh, this is exciting when someone's dying horribly. I don't know. It's not a real experience. It's fine, though. It's the best I can do. That's right, we've already read something like that at some point. We just have to read that. Great that that shows me the onomatopoeia, but doesn't play the sound effect. Just need to check the walkthrough for stuff. Oh. Who is the they that this person is speaking of? Time and space do not exactly work here. Oh no. Yep. Oh no. No, another one. Yep, there we go. Oof. Hey, remember that line in the first chapter where someone mentioned that, hey, you'll feel, in this dimension, you'll feel the exact pain of death until the end of time? Remember that. Oops. This person is just mad. Spirit mad. Oop. Yeah, I don't know. See, like, I love the fact that I'm doing this, but I do wish I could be more genuine, or not genuine. If I were being really genuine about it, I just wouldn't be reacting at all. I wish I could be more like in the moment about it, like without having experienced anything. That this is my first reaction to seeing it, because that would make everyone else's viewing experience a lot better. And I can't provide that, unfortunately. It makes me real sad. But it's so good that I feel like I have to show it off. It really just does not matter. Oh, that's not good. She walked literally 3 feet and then got a cabinet thrown on top of her. Oops. Just gotta go with that one bad feeling. No real explanation for it. I always hate these character portraits. They're really bad. Yeah. I am not familiar with what you're referencing. Wait, nope. Actually, no, hold on. Before we do the actual thing, I want to show off something. So this girl wants to find her. Yeah, they're just bad. They're like DeviantArt tier. Oops. Guess we can't get to the door anymore. So we're not going to be able to find her. I don't think I don't think getting that scene is required. But I still wanted to show it off. Just because, hey, the layout of this place can change rapidly and for no reason. What up? Brainstorm. She tapped that one blue mana. That's a magic joke. Don't worry about it. And now we know where the save points come from. Now hold on, I have an idea real fast. Because we can't go that way. We can go this way. Look at all of them bodies. Just don't be dead. Alright. Just calm down. It's fine. It's only 4 corpses. Don't worry about it. Could be worse. Could be her own. Yeah, we don't need to look at any of these because I already have them. I already have their student ID things. Oh, okay. All right. This is where it starts. Yes. How did you initially react to these scenes? Honestly, I think that like the first chapter like perfectly set the tone for me for the rest of the game. So every time I saw it, but I was like, oh, okay, there's another one. All right. Okay, moving on. Which I'm pretty sure it was something like that. Okay, so here's the thing. In chapters 2 and 3, there are these victims' memoirs. And they contain basically scribblings of someone who slowly went mad. You can read 4 of them, 4 of the 5, and be totally fine. But the instant you read the 5th one, wrong end. I've seen both of them. This one's the good one. The one in chapter 3 is just text and it's boring. But this one is something interesting. In all of the right ways for this game. I'm just gonna let the text slowly go by. So y'all can read it. What else was I supposed to do? I was starving. We both were. There's no food here. So we decided together that one of us should try to live just a little bit longer. If I ever get home, I'm supposed to tell all the people waiting for us what happened. We left it all up to a game of rock, paper, scissors. I don't know why. It's probably a translation thing. Loser eats winner. And I lost. I'm not going to read the rest of this one out loud. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Internet died again. Let me just. Okay, we're back. That better not happen constantly, all the time. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, no, not this internet connection. Hold on. Okay then. So that happened, and apparently now the game's decided, no, I'm just gonna not work properly. So we gotta skip a little bit of stuff. Not much, thankfully. We don't have to catch up a whole bunch. There's not a lot that we need to see again. Just a few lines of the victim's memoir, and that's all. I really hate this internet connection, though. It's really bad. Living friends who are able to retain their sanity and reason will be your final ray of hope. Yeah. We've already seen this. What is it with Japanese names being harder to remember than English ones? Probably because the syllables are more out there. At least ones that we're not used to. Okay, there we go. Now we're back to where we were. So this guy ate his friend and is writing about it to preserve some small portion of their sanity. Oh, that was all. That's all of it. Okay, cool. Those victims' memoirs will get worse. Well, this isn't good music. It's a very long classroom. Big head pains. Shouldn't be here. We really shouldn't be here. But there's something back there. We gotta go get it. She's like, alright, whatever. Well, that's a ghost. Absolutely, positively, must not look into his eyes. It's true, like, I can look at him from the side and it's fine, but if I look at him from the front, what happens? He can look at me and it's fine. Let's take the nail puller. What do you think? Should I, look at him? Should I look him dead in the eyes? Later. Not right now. I'll be back for you, idiot. Did you save? I saved before, yeah. But I'm not gonna do it right now. I'll do it at some point. Honestly, it might happen by accident. Now that we have this nail puller. Okay. Yeah, I see what's going on here right now. What's up with her face? That's not quite the answer I was looking for. Rude? Jeez. Well, that's weird. Oh wait, no, never mind. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say there's one other wrong end I want to show, but I already showed it in my video, so we're good. There we go. More victims' memoirs. This body part used to be attached to her head, and now I'm walking around the school with it. I had no idea else was so heavy. Yeah, I'm not gonna read all this. These really are the scribblings of a madman. It's almost like we're watching their descent into madness in real time. Here, you good? You good, fam? Kinda ran off there randomly. Okay. So she's crazy. Is the world behind your back still there? I have no idea. Consciousness is only aware of itself. Just leave her? Eh. She seems fine now. So I think we're okay. Alright, let's get out of here now. Nope. So now every time we go into this area, that ghost is just gonna be chasing us. Very slowly. I should, like, remember where to go. Alright, okay, yeah, we're good. We're fine. He's not scary. You know, I think I'll show you the wrong end now, actually. After I save real fast. Why not? Let's show it off. Oh yeah, that's right. I probably should have, like, actually mentioned. Oh, yeah, so sometimes the wrong ends are just, like, a little bit different than what actually happens, but they're wrong somehow. Like the wrong end for chapter 1, at least the one I didn't show, that it took great efforts to avoid, is it's literally the same thing as the normal ending, except at the end a bunch of ghost things appear and force the one girl Naomi to like swallow a pair of scissors and just eviscerate her throat or something like that. Or that, or she cuts out her own tongue. I don't remember which. One of the two. Basically, they force her to kill herself with scissors. It's weird. Everything else is literally the exact same. It's just because you miss like 1 or 2 scenes, all of a sudden now that happens. It's very dumb. I don't get it. This game is the epitome of weird. This, just wait. Hey, you want to see that wrong end? Come at me, idiot. Oh, now I can look straight in his eyes and it's fine. But he touched me, so now it's bad. Except I had that power stone. So here's the thing, that power stone can break and save you from dying once. But if that happens, you don't get the best ending. So we're gonna touch him again. Come with me. What's going on? It's pitch black. Anyone there? Where am I? Was I dreaming or something? Can't move? Feels like walls are all around me. Am I in a hole or something? I think he's buried alive. That's right, there are 4 wrong ends in this chapter. The other one, there was just 2. So that's the one I wanted to show. Just because, sometimes they're weird and just like weird text descriptions. Like, I know that in the PSP version there is a splash screen of something, I don't remember what. Oh, of course my internet dies again. Okay. Well, that keeps happening. Let me just go back to game. Okay, it is actually working now. We're good. Oh, hey, wrong end. Just like in real life. Thankfully, we saved right before that. There are a couple wrong ends that I didn't see, but that's okay. Now we're gonna move on with the actual rest of the normal game. Oh. I think we're good now. Neat. Sweet. So that I don't know. I hate the internet. It's annoying because every time this happens, I need to keep resetting the Wi-Fi that my tablet is connected to, so I can have a Stream Deck up. Because that really works for this kind of game, especially when it breaks. Get out of here. I hate this. Very much not a fan. Yeah, the moment I'm able to, like, live on my own and stuff, I'm gonna try to pay top dollar for internet stuff. Because I want to never have to deal with this problem in my life. We're back. Thankfully, we lost no progress. No, I can't. I am out of tune with that. Use the nail puller to pull the nails off the door. Probably wouldn't have known that was the thing you gotta do, but this is in fact the thing you gotta do. Those who choose to ignore darkness... those who choose to ignore the darkness that dwells in the hearts of man may be stuck forever in a loop. For this world, there is some truth that simply must not be known, no matter how disturbing. But curiosity can be deadly, and other truths are best left untold. Beware the messages of the dead, for there be curses among them. Curses that can crush even the strongest of wills, demolishing all semblance of reason. If you wish to protect your sanity, take heed. Do not let your curiosity get the better of you. Do not read the victim's memoirs to their conclusion. We're going to read the victim's memoirs to their conclusion in this chapter. The next one, they're boring. Not the actual memoirs, they're interesting, but what happens afterwards. The wrong end. I've been searching every last corner of this school building, trying to find a way of escaping with her. But it's not happening. No matter how much we struggle, only further misery awaits us. I'm so unbearably thirsty, so hungry that it feels like my stomach is eating itself. And every moment it gets worse. It's like a big black mass in front of me that's slowly closing in. I can't keep ignoring it. I started talking to the eyeball in my hand to help stay focused and maintain my sanity. I swear I'll find us a way out of here. I have to make sure I tell your family what you did for me. We have 2 more of those left. One of them will kill us instantly. We're gonna pull this lever though. It's gonna operate some weird string mechanism. Hey, I remember the other one that was in the Ghost Boy room? Now we can get to it. It's just so good. Say it one more time. I'm saving as often as I can. I don't know, the music in this game is just really good. Okay. Okay, yeah, now I see what's up. Hi, Ghost Boy. You can just get out of here. No one likes you. Especially not when you killed me in that alternate timeline. Burying me alive? Come on, man. It's not cool. I think the 4th victim's memoir is over here now. They only appear in order, so you have to read 1, then 2, then 3. Yeah, so when you, once you read number 1, number 2 will appear. Once you read number 2, number 3 will appear. And maybe it's not here. It's not. That's okay, though. Why, sister? It hurts. It hurts. After I die, the pain will continue forever. No. Sis, you lied to me. You're going to leave me behind, aren't you? I would never forgive you. Oh, okay. Goodbye, friend. I'm sorry your family betrayed you or something? I don't know. Masterful voiceover right there. Well, the music's back. I'm not entirely sure why. Because the Ghost Boy isn't in this room anymore. We're gonna pull this lever. Now we can go over to the other side. But hey, you want to see some hot garbage? Boop, boop, boop. We can look him straight in the eye, but if he touches us, we die. So here's what. Actually, I don't remember what to do here. Except book it. Sucks to suck, Dingleberry. I'm out of here. I'm too cool for cool. See, it's because it's part of it is because I know how that guy works. You have to be on the same tile as him. If you or him are switching tiles, it doesn't kill you. Wait. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, we're good. I think he's still just gonna be wandering around, trying to kill us. But that's fine. He can take his time with it. If you insist on reading such dangerous words too, I pray you have a strong will and a sturdy mind. Oh, I do, trust me. Chair. Where are you going? Don't run off without me. I think it's spot for a candle? Okay. I'll take a new save point. See, here I was thinking you were going to put it in the infirmary, given how it's right there. Oh well. See, past that door, into the corridor. Before going north over the gap and into the stairwell. Wait, there's no meat pile here. What's going on? Where's the meat pile? Well, there's that loose board at least. think he died quickly and suddenly, in a very surprised fashion. Who knows? Is that what I think it is? It is. I'm writing these memories with sticky hands, but it's not me that is sticky, but something else. I hope you're not mad. Whatever. Person, but I got hungry again, really hungry, like I was about to die, so I did something I shouldn't have done. I promised myself I would stay sane, and promised myself I wouldn't do what I did, and I'm so sorry, really sorry, but there's no excuse for what I did with my bloody hands. I took the thing I was squishing, put it in my mouth, and swallowed it. So yeah. So he ate his friend, then he ate his friend's eyeball. Shut up, Echo Dot. I don't care. Shut up, Bezos. I know you're listening to me. Keep our restrooms clean. Let's go in here. Did you know Jeff Bezos is listening to everything you do? What is happening here? What's up with those black stains? What is it stained with? It's almost like a person. Somebody died here. Look, it's fine. There's no body there. You know, for being familiar with some of this stuff, you'd think she'd, like, be more level-headed. Given how, like, she's been doing research on a lot of stuff like this. Just a thought. Whatever, I'm out. I don't know, dude. Not a huge fan of her in Chapter 2. There's a dark stain on the floor in the shape of a person's body. It almost feels like someone's here. It's really giving me the creeps. What's in the stall? The stall is pitch black inside. I don't know. I mean, I know what's happening, of course, but it makes sense later, trust me. Otherwise, I will explain it properly. Please be okay. No, she's not okay. She is not okay. Ooh, I love this track, though. Buried alive? I was buried alive earlier. What's up? Very cool. Oh, right. It doesn't matter. Just fight it. Uarg. Uarg. Ow. Maybe don't punch me. Very cool. What's up? It's not like I'm possessed by a demon or nothing. Dialogue options, they don't matter most of the time. The dialogue options don't matter until they do. And when they do, people will die. If you choose incorrectly. It's not very clear. Yeah, she's nuts. I'm just gonna... Wait, what do I do? Oh? I'm gonna talk to this friend. That poor girl, she's lost her mind and she'll never get it back. Interesting. Oh, okay, now I see what's up. Just gotta walk past her. I did things in a weird order, but it works all the same. Inspect. I was supposed to talk to her first, then inspect the stain and the stall. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Why is this happening to us? It'll start to make sense in the epilogue of chapter 3. Oh, okay, flashback. It literally does not matter. Basically, this just kind of spells out the relationship. It don't matter. Oh. Imagine this not making sense at first glance. Oh, it doesn't make sense for a long while. Because right now, all you know is that, hey, there's a bunch of Japanese high schoolers that are trapped in this alternate dimension / dimensions. What's up with that? Give it a bit. So warm. Oops. Can't have a male and a female making any sort of, what's the word for it? Platonic physical contact. That's not okay, apparently. Look, it's fine. Just we're moving on. No, we already know her intuition is correct. Because we saw the ending of chapter 1. Huh, interesting. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, I know where the 5th memoir is. I'm going to save before I read it, though. And quick warning, when I do, something is going to happen. It's not going to be pretty. But it's one of those, okay. I'm gonna save first. We're gonna go see what's up with that. Giddy conversational laughter can be heard wafting out from the infirmary. Yay for happenings. Oh, that's probably not a good thing. Why do one of those ghosts not have a head? I don't know what's going on here. They're just chatting about stuff? They're not bad kids. Four children abducted. Follow-up report. The brutal, shocking deaths of the recent kidnapped grade schoolers have now been traced to the hands of the instructor found in the room with them. I can't read. The scissors he held are confirmed to have been used to cut out the victims' tongues, ultimately leading to death through excessive bleeding or choking. One of the victims even had the majority of her head slowly, methodically removed, and I accidentally hit enter because I'm dumb. The Heavenly Hills Elementary students picture here are the 4 who were found in the basement room. All these children, one was when investigators arrived to the scene of the crime, she was blood. The newspaper is torn at this point. The bottom half of the article is missing. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. They will kill you. Oh no. Approaching does nothing. Now is when we just leave. Goodbye. Please don't die. Don't. What? Do you not want to know if your nose is bleeding? I don't want to know that. What? Who said that? Is that a living person? Eyes like a dead fish? Yeah, she died. But then why is she not a spirit? Okay, she just kind of knows who this person is? Yep. It's the occult. Ultimate parano. Don't bring. Oh, you're right, but stop. I'm afraid you won't be seeing any more updates from me, considering that she's dead. What's up with that? I don't need. Yup. Now it starts to make a little bit more sense. That's right, she did say she came here in search of something. Okay. Or she can't talk about it, that's fine too, I guess. Well, no, oh, that's right, I totally forgot. My friend is going to be murdered by ghosts. To retire low for any means of escape. In the process, I learned that these closed spaces were given the form of Heaven Host Elementary through the sorrow and agony of its victims. Victims of an incident that occurred 30 years before our time. 4 children kidnapped with broken bodies, later found in this very building. Those children are the ones giving shape to this nexus. The 4 kids pictured in that newspaper article. Sure seems like it. Why do all the characters have the same voice? Don't at me. Ultimately, this place took a toll on me, and I died before I was able to make my escape. You know, casually dying. Speaking to normal living people. In a normal human being's body. I don't know why it's like this. Because it's established that people who die in this world are those little spirits. I think? there's no clear like timeline in terms of like die and spirit. There's no timeline here on with that that's been strictly given or at least implied. So we really have no idea. The game seems to lie with those children. If they can put the rest, there just might be a way out of here. Without all that sorrow and agony to sustain them, these closed spaces would start to break down, but would that kill us instead? All that pointless suffering would come to an end, and we'd be released from this hell. It's my theory, anyway. It's it's just a theory. In fact, it's not just a. No, I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna make a dumb joke. It's not just theory; it's a game theory, and then play Megalovania on the melodica. Because, haha, funny sans. Give them closure. What they were lacking is any remorse or regret from the one who killed them. The murderer is here in the school at the moment. Well, you're gonna have to find some way to make them confess. The spirits are gonna start hurting your friend and then murder her. First order of business, find the killer. Second order of business, walk in the opposite direction. Oh boy. Wait, I want to save though. Or not. You good? She's starting to snap under the pressure. I don't know, man. This game's weird. The lore is weird, and it doesn't make sense for a while. I'm gonna save. Oh, I was just about to say we're... Oh, never mind. That was reading through a little bit more. Yeah, we're real close to the end of chapter 2. So I'm going to show you the second wrong end that I want to show. After that... we're going to see the end of this chapter, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a critique of another video I made. Probably it's going to be the old Dragon Ball Super one. I did some notes last night, just because I hate that video so much. It's very bad. Wait, why am I going this way? I don't need to go that way. Okay, you know what? I'm going to show you the wrong end right now. So I'm going to save right here first. I'm pretty sure that the final victim's memoir is somewhere in this area. There it is. Are you ready for this? Victim's memoirs, 5 of 5. This is the only one that gives you the option to read it, because the game knows that once you do this, or, that's right, I forgot, I'm still holding that power stone. It just spontaneously shattered. Miss Yui says, don't read it, but I'm gonna read it. If you are reading this, allow me to forewarn you. There is no hope of rescue. There is nothing to be gained. Endless wandering and endless torture is the nature of this place. I succumb to my hunger and thirst. I'm gonna get real close to the mic. Real close to the mic for this one. begin nibbling on that corpse again. There is no flavor, no sensation. Just meat and fluid to sate my empty belly. I promised I would not desecrate your body anymore, but I broke that promise. Please, forgive me. Shinozaki. Shinozaki's testament. It's a yellowed school flyer, presumably taken off the wall somewhere along the way. A short message has been hastily scribbled in pen on the reverse side. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I'm going to be killed. I'm going to be eaten. He's chasing me, and I can't keep running. If anyone should find this paper. I urge you, bring him to justice. The one who killed me for sustenance. My classmate, Kishinuma. Good thing this is all a work of fiction. No way this can be real. There we go. Yeah. Remember what that one message said about do not read the victim's memoirs to their completion? Some messages have a curse on them so strong it will break any will and shatter any mind. That's what that was. He read them all to completion, and then what happened to that student happened to him. He may not have actively decided to make those decisions, but they happened. Regardless. Some truths are just not meant to be told, according to this game's lore. That's why. Because it broke him. So that's quite possibly one, at least as of right now, because I don't remember a lot of other wrong ends, especially close to the end of the game. I think in Chapter 5 I got like maybe 1 or 2 wrong ends, because at that point I was just like, there's way too many, I just want to see the end of the game. Because I wanted to see how they'd get out. There are a few wrong ends that I've seen that genuinely terrify me from Chapter 5. And we'll get to them. Not everything is meant to be known. That is correct. According to this game's lore, some knowledge, some information is just eternally cursed. and must never be told to anyone. I don't know where I'm going. Oh, right, okay. Directly north to another set of stairs. What's that? Does this ever have an old-fashioned festival doll lying on the ground here? Pick it up? Yes. Thoughts begin to echo into your mind, seemingly from the doll. Somehow or another, it's found a way to communicate its sole desire. Return to my body? Acquired antique doll head. Wait, can I go up here now? Ooh, I can. There's nothing here, but I can. Oh, okay, that's horribly terrifying. Oh. I forgot about that. Just can't go in that room. So yeah, that one, the Victim's Memoirs ending in chapter 2 at least, is one of my favorites in this game. The one in chapter 3 is nowhere near as interesting. I'll probably show that one just so you all can, just so you can see why. Okay, I was not supposed to go in this room. I know that one of the other wrong ends was, like I explained in my video, but like it was a line, or maybe you'll slice her in half with a random wire in the hallway because she ran off on her own and you didn't chase her, and then get cut in half yourself. That's one of the wrong endings in this chapter. It's another one of those ones that's actually interesting because you get to see the aftermath. Pound third chapter syndrome? No, it's not even that. It's not even that because like the third chapter is actually interesting. It's just that ending that's not, because I guess something like maybe the developers just couldn't find a good enough visual for what the thing actually was, or it could be that. It also could have been maybe. Wait a minute, I think I did it wrong. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I did it wrong. It could have just been that like they had, like they came up with an idea that kind of works for the third chapter victim's memoir, but then they couldn't think of like a terrifying enough visual to go along with it. Like you saw just then, that visual was horrific. Maybe they just couldn't come up with something properly for what they had in the victim's memoirs in chapter 3. I don't know. You'll see what I mean when we get to it. Another day. Never wanting them to die, but scarred myself with such death and pain. I'm so sorry. I feel so ashamed. So very sorry. This might be what we need. Oh, man. Dasai. That's what it's saying. Acquired. Pension spirit. Man, that guy sucks. I say as I almost die. Alright, let's go back to the infirmary. We've got a little bit of murderer repentance to give. I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely gonna watch the VOD of this as soon as I upload it. Because oh my god. Some parts of the game I just need to see multiple times. Because they're so good. I have acquired Murderer's Repentance. This is some too epic music. Hi, please don't kill my friend. Please don't hurt her. Please don't hurt us. Just please don't hurt anyone. I get it was horrible, but just like chill out about it. Wow, very good tactic, Yoshiki. Make them mad, they'll shut us out. She showed them the doll. Yeah. They're just children. Taken away before their time. They don't have to keep suffering. The murderer doll says it's sorry. It didn't mean for you to die. Just go back to your parents. It's okay. It's okay, you can do it. You don't have to hurt that girl. She's innocent? Please? Please? Please don't hurt her? Oh no. Oh no. This is not good. Oh, that can't be good. I'm not gonna save. Oh man. She turned into the meat pile. Oh, her heart's still beating. No, it's not. Um. Why are we back here now? Oh, she's alive. Neat. You're just their instructor now. You have no familial bond with them. Or their mom. Oh, that's probably not a good deer for your arm. Nine people? Yep, so everyone is here. Except, 2 of them might be dead now? Their spirit was trapped there, just like us, succumbing to unbearable feelings of anger and hatred, one victim drawn to harm another. It's not just people trapped in the space, but their sadness and torment as well. It's got nowhere to go, so it just hangs in these halls. We shouldn't be here. And that's chapter 2. Oh, y'all ready for that credit sequence again? Lol, nope, we're not gonna watch that. That's dumb. Yeah, that's a thing. So who's got questions? I know there's stuff that needs explaining. The question is, what does chat want to know? Because I can answer stuff. I know what this game's about. Otherwise, I'm probably not gonna get a chapter 3 today. I want to do like 1 chapter per stream. Except 5's gonna take a bit. 5 is long, if I remember. It's kind of long. Man, oh man, I have so many Discord notifications. Get out of here with that BS. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, Dalton, you see the thing that Ethan posted in Games General? You can violate every Geneva Convention in RimWorld. Very cool. I don't know. I'm gonna have to view more of that stuff later. Let's just quickly cancel out of this game, because I've got a video to yell at, namely my own. I've just gotta go back to that. I really love having a Stream Deck, even if it's just on a tablet. It's not like a separate box, but I don't really need a separate box. I don't need to spend like $150 to $200 on an Elgato Stream Deck when I have my tablet. I already own it, why not? Let's get to the video. Okay, where it be? There it is. Okay. Man, this is a quiet video. Okay, so I've got the video all up and ready to go. Actually, hold on. I have a document that I'm gonna have on a separate monitor. That basically has all of the things I want to say about this. So this is why my original Dragon Ball Super video sucks. So right off the bat, there's some stuff I can notice right here. This is a bad angle, terrible angle. Stream's lagging on my end. It might be this time. I really hope that it's not me. I'm not getting anything from Streamlabs, so I hope it's not a me problem. Whatever. So yeah, this video sucks. Like, I thought my corpse party video was bad. This is even worse. This is actually atrocious. So first things first, this is a terrible angle. There is too much unnecessary information up here, not enough necessary information down here. So if we could take all that, pan it down a little bit, that would be much better. Like slightly above the top of my head, that is all you need. Anything past that, unnecessary information. Do not need. Unless there's a very specific reason, that is a no-go. It's clear throughout the video, which will show that, like, in the spots where I'm on camera, I do some kind of, like, body motion. That can be necessary to see, whereas everything up here is not. So that is pointless. Bad angle. Second, I need to clean my desk. I should have cleaned my desk considering I'd be on camera, and I should have actually, like, shaved, because this looks terrible. That last one is a personal note, but it looks terrible. I also need to shave today, too. Third, it's very clear throughout the video, and you'll see if you look close enough, that I'm recording with a cell phone on automatic mode. Because the color and white balance, as well as the focus and exposure, are all over the place, and they constantly change. And there's nothing that distinguishes me from the background wall. So it looks like the desk and everything behind me is both there and not, and it looks terrible. Also, with these on-camera segments, I have a different tablet, not the one I'm using right now, because I didn't have this one yet. I had a different tablet on a music stand with my camera, I believe, balanced on top of it. And that's how I did the video. But it's very clear that that's what's happening, because there's a very obvious glare from my tablet in my glasses that makes it hard to see my eyes, and it's distracting. Like, it makes sense to have a script on hand for easy access during recording sessions, but this is terrible.
Standard disclaimer.
So that's that in the beginning.
This video is going to be
It's not going to be heavily analytical. See, like, look,
if you have not watched
like,
Dragon Ball Super,
I'm doing, there's some body motion happening,
and going to do that right
so this stuff could be shown. This does not need to be shown. It's very bad.
Standard disclaimer.
This part is unnecessary. So let me just actually get into the video. By the way, this video is 17 minutes long. And this is one of my shorter videos I've made.
Guys, let me just say this. Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, look at that. So crispy. Look at that. Look. It almost looks like I cut this out terribly in Paint.net.
Isn't the best.
And what's up with that? I know why this happened, because in the video editing software I had this image already, like in HeadFilm Express, I had this image already on the screen. Then I just took that image with the dimensions it has, which is not 1920 by 1080. It's a lot thinner, but almost as long. Sorry, well, it's a lot shorter, but almost as long. And I right-clicked that and then selected Make Composite Shot. So the composite shot was not made in 1920 by 1080. It is made in the same dimensions as this text thing. That's why it looks terrible and fades into nothing there. That's not very good. That's not in my notes. That's just another thing I noticed and wanted to talk about. So for parts of this, I have unnecessary footage. Do not ever do this. Do not ever show unneeded footage. Do not make excuses. This goes for everything. If the footage you are showing does not add to the material in some way, shape, or form, it's better to have nothing. Because this is distracting. I know why I did this. In the description of the video, I claimed that it would have saved me 5 hours of editing time. While that is true, that is because I, at the time, did not have a grasp on proper editing. Obviously. Because this is like my second or third real video I ever made outside of school. And I did not, I was really slow at it and very bad at it. That makes sense. But the fact that I made excuses is unacceptable. The fact that I made excuses as to why I'm showing unnecessary information is inexcusable. Do not do this.
Not a bad show in any way. In fact, it's totally justified if you say it's your favorite anime.
I also know that this is my first real time doing off-camera narration for anything, but it needs to be more enthusiastic. I sound like I'm bored in this, and that's not okay. You need to speak like you're communicating with someone in the same room.
Of all time, but it has some obvious flaws in many aspects, and I'd just like to talk about them quickly. Because there's been this trend in society where if someone doesn't say that a specific something is absolutely perfect in every way, the rest of the world accuses them of hating that thing.
No. So, most of my notes are written they're written in such a way that they address the me that wrote this video, the me that made this video, in the third person. So for this time code I have, do not talk about this trend in society without knowing what you're talking about or properly explaining what that means. So, quick thing to note here, how does this relate to Super? Does it even relate? If it doesn't, why is it here? If it does, why didn't you explain it? That kind of thing. Lines like this, if they are not needed, or if they're not elaborated on properly, are best left out.
This is stupid for a lot of reasons.
So this is a video.
Mainly because all things have some sort of shortcoming that prevents it from being the most perfect thing in the world. However, that's a good thing. I would rather everything be flawed in the slightest of ways than everything being totally perfect all the time. Because once something became perfect, everything that followed it would become mathematical in structure and would then cease to be art. Life would become boring.
Unless the delivery is strong, do not pause like this. I'm talking very slowly as it is. And in pausing like that, I made it worse. Don't do that.
Everything has flaws, so it's generally a good thing to point them out when they arise, no matter what they are. It doesn't take away from all that it does right. It instead emphasizes all that it doesn't do wrong, and more importantly, helps the audience make rationalized opinions on whether or not they like that thing. And that leads me to Dragon Ball Super. Right from
Thank you, no, never mind.
it was clear that some things about that show would not be on par with many Dragon Ball fans' standards of quality.
This next clip is going to be examples of why you do not breathe in the middle of sentences unless you absolutely need to, and even then, do not make it obvious. This is a perfect example of that. Just listen.
Sure, it would be entertaining to see all your favorite characters in fresh, modern animation.
That was 2 cuts in the span of a single sentence. That's not okay.
But plenty of things could be enjoyable and still not be super good. Even at the time I watched it, back when I didn't really develop my critical eye at all, I still found issue to be had with the Goku vs. Beerus fight that spanned over several episodes, for example. Namely that not a lot happened in it, and the stakes kept fluctuating so much that it was hard to keep any interest in the outcome, especially when I and so many others already knew the outcome, because we had seen the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F movies that this arc and the next were direct remakes of.
So that part is just kind of like word soup, in a way. Like, I didn't exactly make it clear going into it that that's what I was going to be talking about. The first 2 arcs of Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, you know? Didn't really make it clear that's what the topic of the video was going to be. Fun fact, that actually is not the topic of the video. The main topic of the video is the final arc and why it's bad. But I don't make that clear in any semblance. Just at all. It's not clear. And I point that out a few times in my notes.
And while things did get better, I personally feel that the improvements made up to the Universe Survival arc barely made a difference in my enjoyment of the series as a whole. Actually, that seems to be the biggest issue I have with Super as a whole.
I use as a whole twice. This was scripted and later revised. That needs better word choice.
The arc wildly claimed to be the best in the entire series.
It's really not claimed to be the best. It's claimed to be good, but I'm pretty sure most people would agree that I think of the 5 Dragon Ball Super arcs, the only one that's like universally good, like in, or at least universally like the better of the 5, I'm pretty sure that one is the Universe 6-7 tournament. The Universe Survival arc has some interesting stuff. I've heard it described as it's a series of good moments strung together with nothingness. Essentially, that's what that arc is.
Just oddly boring? Not to mention inconsistent in its quality.
Also, I just want to quickly cut the volume for a second. I want you to just watch the background as it moves, because again, everything's in auto mode. Like, the lighting and exposure keep changing constantly. Sometimes the wall looks more blue, sometimes the wall looks more green, sometimes it looks white. Absolutely horrendous. That is distracting to look at.
In the series week to week, there were several instances where I flat out stopped watching new episodes for a couple weeks or a month, only to hear that, no, there's actually exciting things happening again.
Okay, so, first thing. From this point onwards, all of the footage is altered in terms of speed. None of the footage is traveling at the same rate that they were in the original broadcast. Or anything, or any broadcast of the show. I know why this was done. It was done because at the time I was afraid that the video would be copyright striked. But the thing is with that, which I later learned, as long as you cut the clips properly, no one is likely to do anything about it. The worst offender would be TV Tokyo, and even then, you can still find ways around it just by cutting the footage properly. I've had to deal with copyright strikes from TV Tokyo multiple times, and every time the solution has always been just cut the clips better, just shorter clips. That's always been the solution. Changing the speed has never done anything.
I honestly cannot fathom how people kept watching that arc week to week.
So I mentioned the words "that arc" in this, right? But earlier, I talked about the first 2 arcs. Which arc are we talking about now? Are we talking about the first 2, or are we talking about the last one? This needs to be way more clear.
But that's not to say that I necessarily disagree with people who did. As someone who's been a Dragon Ball fan for the majority of his life, and someone who claims to have a modicum of intelligence, it's pretty frustrating to see a Dragon Ball show flat out insult its viewers by assuming they can follow any line of logic, you can taste the air quotes there, presented to them. And to properly explain that, I believe the best place to start is the structure of the tournament itself. It's flat out incoherent.
I call the structure of the arc incoherent, but the structure of this video is even more incoherent because it's done by someone who does not know what they're doing. Toei Animation, at the very least, has a professional staff group who have been working in the industry for, collectively, dozens upon dozens of years. I was one guy fresh out of high school. And I didn't really do that much reading in terms of, like, actual structure. Or anything. I barely had any knowledge. So, you know, which one of those two is more likely to be of a better structure? That's all I'm saying.
The idea of a battle royale where only one is the winner and everyone else is killed should sound pretty familiar at this point.
This is the worst way to bring that up that I've seen so far. So I know at the time I still don't like Fortnite. I think it's a terrible game. Not terrible. I don't think it's well designed. But this is not a good way to dunk on it. Because these two things are not the same. They're not even closely related. I know I just wanted to dunk on it, but this is not the time or place to do so. This is not the way to do it. I've never liked it, and I don't think I ever will like it. Fortnite, that is. But to give it credit, it does not do what Super does.
But it holds up even worse in comparison to those awful, awful games.
So this whole thing of footage, because I didn't want to actually go out and, download the game and play some games myself and record it on my own. Stupid me at the time thought it would be a totally fine idea to just literally rip a video file from YouTube and you put that in the video without giving proper credit. So technically speaking, this is one step away from plagiarism. That is, regardless of anything else, inexcusable. Because I didn't credit this person. I don't even know who he is. Almost 2 years later, I don't remember who he is. I don't remember what his channel name is called. So I can't give him proper credit. This happens multiple times in the video. I counted 4. That is not okay. It's one step away from plagiarism and otherwise extremely lazy.
In those games, the action is so fast-paced and there's so much happening at once in so many different places that it's downright impossible to follow all of it. But you aren't meant to. Even as a spectator, it's best to only follow one person and see what they are doing, and not flick back and forth between viewpoints following other people. If 2 people that you've kept in mind
Another example of why it's a bad idea to take a breath during a sentence unless you need to. That was a bad cut.
intersect, then you get the best possible scenario. But in Super's case, it just doesn't mix well. None of the characters from any of the universes that we're supposed to care about are meant to serve as pure fodder, arguably.
So here's the thing with this. The way that I cut this, well, 2 things here. First off, the way that I cut this makes it seem like I'm calling this person, Frost, pure fodder. That's not true. While I'm not a huge fan of his character personally, that is separate from this. He does play a role in furthering the theme of the arc and how one character interacts with it. So, if I'm calling him pure fodder, that essentially is me lying. Second thing, what exactly does characters being pure fodder, as I described it without explaining properly, have to do with Fortnite? Nothing. There's no relation. There's no proper segue. It's just, we're here. Now we're here. What's in between this? Doesn't matter. That is an enormous leap in logic.
They all have interesting and unique designs, motivations, and best of all, crazy powers. Seeing one fighter split himself up into 5 illusions, and seeing
Hey, so you see this up here? This is actually, so one interesting thing about the show is that some accounts on YouTube literally just rip footage from the original broadcast, slap a watermark on it, post on YouTube, now it's theirs. What I did was I was too lazy to find the actual scene in the original broadcast that I'm talking about here. I found one of those and I just ripped it. That's lazy, that's stupid.
Another acts as a reflector to redirect someone else's energy, while a third is flat out too small to see and wrecking face.
That is another inexcusable attempt to try to cut 2 parts of a sentence together, separated by a breath. Terrible. That line needs to be re-recorded. I basically applied a band-aid to a bullet wound.
Is just damn cool to see in action. But maybe they are pure fodder after all, because so little of the fights that occur during the tournament do anything to progress the narrative in any meaningful way. And most of the ones that do involve this asshole. That's right, I'm blaming a significant amount of the problems in this arc on Jiren.
Look at that. Look at that terribly cut out image. Look, there's still a little piece of non-transparency there, and a little bit outside all of this, and also over here, and even right there. Look at that. Terrible. Do it better.
the most emotionally dead wall you've ever seen in your entire life. And I am including
You ready for this extreme attempt of a joke?
half of all walls in the entire city of Detroit.
Do you get it? It's because I live near Detroit. Ha ha, so funny.
But why? What is it?
I don't even live in like the inner city area where this joke would make sense and be excusable and be fine. I live in a suburban white neighborhood. So why would I make this joke? It just doesn't make that much sense. It's dumb. There's no real purpose for it.
What is it about Jiren that makes him the issue of an entire arc?
I say that I live in a suburban white area because even though this district is not strictly redlined, it in my observation seems to be some kind of side effect of redlining that occurred many, many years ago. Because most of the people I've known growing up were white. At the very least, way more people were white than any other nationality or ethnicity. White's not a nationality. What am I talking about? Terrible human being.
Arc. In the entire city of Detroit.
Bad joke.
But why? What is it about Jiren that makes him the issue of an entire arc? The answer comes from these basic questions. What are his motivations as a character, and what does his existence do to directly or indirectly progress the plot?
So how exactly would someone existing indirectly progress the plot? There's no real explanation. That I gave, at least. That needs to be there, in some capacity. At least, in my opinion. In my professional opinion, from almost 2 years in the future after this video. So yeah, that exists.
I'll put this simply. Jiren.
That cut right there sucks. We're gonna go to this frame by frame. We go from nothing to at some point we cut to Jiren, but the frame is moving for a single frame. So this is 3 different frames. So if we're going to watch that,
Jiren.
That is visual whiplash. All of a sudden it gives that feeling of, whoa, what, okay. And that's not okay.
Is as bland gets. We're told right from the very beginning that this guy is the guy to look out for. And he doesn't even do anything for the first half.
I'm pretty sure it happened once again there.
This guy is the guy to look out for. And he does.
Yep, it happened once again. We're here. 1, 2. Now we're in another scene. It's bad editing.
He doesn't even do anything for the first half of the tournament. It's only when he blows away.
Yep, another example of why you never breathe in between sentences. Except this isn't even an example of breathing in between sentences. If I were to go and bring up the original script that I have for this video, there's something I had there that I didn't have in the other examples. Completed videos. I do save all my video scripts so I can reference them later. So here's the thing. The line here is it's only in episode 108 when he blows away that liquid guy with one punch in the air in front of him. But when I was editing, I wasn't sure of that, and I couldn't find it, and I didn't want to take any. I did not want to make any effort to try and find it, so I just didn't. So, 2 solutions to that: either I rewrite that line, just cut out the part where I name the episode, don't even have it in there at all, record that line without it, or just find the episode, write it down, name it. Either one would have been better than what just happened here. Maybe I should, be tabbed onto the right thing. Might be nice.
Liquid guy with one punch to the air in front of him, that he cements himself as a threat. Before that, he just sat on his ass and meditated for no reason. But then it leads into the 2-episode special, and it's from that point onward that Jiren fully establishes himself as the wall from my previous metaphor. he is depressingly, unbelievably, infuriatingly boring. And I say that because there's nothing about his personality that cues him in to be a real character. His only motivation and reason for existing is because strength trumps all else. And I would argue that no, it does not. Because in a shonen anime that makes
Shut up,
you out
Bezos.
to be the main antagonist of this tournament, having a tangible sense of personality more or less outweighs anything else. Case in point, look at the character of Thanos.
Okay, so I'd just like to point out that the release date of this video is July 26, 2018. Infinity War came out 3 months before this. So why am I bringing him up? Is he the best fit for an example to make my point? Not really. To some extent, yes, but he's not perfect. I can't think of any examples right now, but this is why I should have looked. Because this is not it. So why I mention him here? Is it because he's culturally relevant because the video came out a couple months after Infinity War? Possibly. Is that the best way to do it? No.
He too fills the role of the unbeatable wall that no one else can hope to defeat. But we actually like him because unlike Jiren, he has very clear motivations and an actual personality that causes us to genuinely feel for his cause. Someone may argue that I'm only using those two comparisons, Thanos and Fortnite, because they're popular and everyone's talking about them, and you may be sick of hearing them. And while I won't say you're wrong about that, only one of those things is actually good, and I use them solely because they are popular and therefore easy to relate to. It's easy to understand my point that way.
So yes, basically right here I admitted to drawing from those two because of their popularity and not because they properly fit my points. It's also worded terribly. Someone may argue X, and you're not wrong, but here's my personal opinion, and it's actually because X. It's literally the same thing. What I just said there was, someone may argue that I'm only doing it because it's popular. I use them solely because they're popular. Wow, amazing revelation, past me.
With no defining presence half the time, and no personality to mark him as a character until basically the end of the series, it's easy to see why this guy sucks. But it gets worse, because the entirety of the arc story begins to revolve around him after the episode 1 of...
I just want to point out that is actually... I am still happy with that little visual metaphor. That while I'm talking about something revolving around Jiren, I have a shot of something revolving around Jiren. You know, just... It's not revolutionary, because people have done it before, but it's neat.
109 and 110 special. He has shown his power as being above everybody else, and now he's become the person to eliminate to have a chance of survival. But towards the end, it all starts to fall apart. The natural progression of the tournament and the progression of the fight between Jiren and whoever has the balls to fight him are supposed to intertwine here, but they don't.
How do they not intertwine? What does that mean? What do each of them even mean? And how are they separate things? The narrative of the arc and the fight? Are they separate things? Are they the same thing? This needs to be elaborated on.
Having a time limit in a tournament like this makes sense.
Okay, so then how is the time limit connected to the fact that the progression of the story and the progression of the fight don't intertwine? Is the time limit connected? If not, why is it here? If yes, how? That needs to be elaborated on. This stuff happens a lot in this video where I just kind of say things and I don't elaborate on them. It is very poor, and that is the primary reason why I made the other video later on. But even then, I have quite a few problems with that video, and I will get to those at some point. Probably not today, though.
And aside from the fact that 48 minutes is an oddly specific time to choose, it could realistically make for some interesting fight dynamics between characters. Like when Android 17 keeps blasting Toppo with energy blasts because his are unlimited, so he can keep firing them off until time runs out, securing his universe the victory.
Okay, that is a good plan. Genuinely. So good on Toy for that. But also, I'm speaking in the present tense here, where in other parts of the video I'm speaking in past tense. And yet other parts of the video I'm speaking in present tense again. So which is it? It's good to pick one or the other and stick with it.
That's an interesting plan.
Also, oh, never mind. That's for a different thing.
Unfortunately undercut by Toppo's unveiling of his Deus Ex Machina god powers. As an aside, that is a really cool thing that Super added. The idea that gods aren't just born randomly, and if you fall under the category of life forms that possesses godly potential, you still have to sacrifice something very dear to you to fully realize said god powers. But back to the time limit.
Are we talking about the time limit now? Didn't exactly make that clear.
The staff of Super decided to forego the use of interesting fight mechanics and intricate dynamics between fighters.
That's a little bit harsh and more of a personal insult. That's not a good idea, especially since I don't have all the information or even enough to paint a good enough picture of what happened. So that needs to be left out.
And instead used it more like a measuring stick, detailing what should really be focused on and marking those moments by the slowing of time passing.
What? More like a measuring stick? What? What does that mean in the context of the time limit? Why do I refer to the time limit as it when I've barely established what I'm talking about? That needs to be elaborated on.
That didn't really matter at the start of the tournament, but after episode 110 starts to become apparent, and by the time there are only 2 universes left, it becomes painfully obvious.
What am I talking about here? That is nonsensical. Also, why is that? Why is that like that? Alright, that's better, I guess. Don't know why that happened, but we're good. Let's go back to this now. Back to the actual video. Hold on. Why do I have a Discord notification when my Discord isn't showing me what it is? What are you doing, Discord? Alright, hold on. Let me just kill that for a second. Oh, never mind. It's totally fine. Yeah, just a thing in another Discord server. It's fine. We're good to continue.
Now what exactly does a time limit have to do with why I think Jiren is a complete flop of a character? Well, once it became apparent that the time limit isn't there for world-building reasons, but instead for storytelling reasons, I knew it didn't exist.
Is that not a legitimate thing? That something could exist as? It's a story. If it helps the story along, does it really need to exist for a world building? Yeah, for a world building reason. Also, I never established this at any point previously, and I never bring it up again. So that needs to be elaborated on.
Makes world-building reasons, but instead for storytelling reasons, I knew it didn't exist to make sense.
Doesn't exist to make sense? What does that even mean?
It existed to mark the exact second that Goku would beat Jiren and secure his universe to win.
Does that not constitute as making sense? If it's annoying or if I have a problem with it, then we can talk about that. But it's bad to just write that off as it doesn't make sense, because it kind of does.
The majority of the actual Jiren versus Goku fight takes place in the last 8 minutes of the tournament, and Jiren doesn't release his full 100% maximum absolute power for realsies until the actual last minute of the fight. Here's a scenario that could make the ending 3 episodes way more interesting. Instead of just letting us know, the Grand Priest called...
Okay, so this is a bad example of how to use text. Rather, this is the bad way to use text, so just watch this clip.
Way more interesting. Instead of just letting us know, the The Grand Priest calls out the minutes left in the tournament.
Did you have enough time to read that? No. Because I did this terribly. The more important piece of information is twice as long, and is there for less than half the time as the less useful and important piece of information. Why? That is not okay under any circumstances.
That way, the tension of the fight is turned up even more. In this scenario, it's down to the final person from Universe 11 and the final 3 from Universe 7.
Nope, it's down to the final 4, because I completely forgot something for some dumb reason. So, in this part of the tournament, which I didn't just explain when it is, episode-wise, there's 4 people. I'm pretty sure it's by around episode 126 or 7. Pretty sure it's 126 is when Toppo gets eliminated. So starting on episode 127, pretty sure that's the right number. There are 4 people from Universe 7. Goku, Android 17, Vegeta, who I forgot to put in this video, and Frieza. And even then, the footage I used
It's down to the final
shows 3 people, one of whom, Vegeta, I forgot to mention at all. But I did mention Frieza, who's not here.
person from Universe 11 and the final 3 from Universe 7, and neither side is giving an inch. With Goku pressing the offensive on Jiren, he can't run off and quickly eliminate the exhausted Frieza and 17. And with so little time remaining, the only perceivable way he can win is to put sheer numbers in his favor. So it's 3-1, and his
4-1.
entire universe is on the line. So he doesn't have the time to play games anymore. He can't hold back anymore. As he gets pushed farther into a corner, he gets angrier, scarier, more desperate and violent, even willing to seemingly deal a near-killing blow to Goku. And then obligatory Ultra Instinct, because the writing team realizes that at that moment, Jiren is more powerful than any god, and Goku and team have to win the tournament in the end.
That's not the only. That's not the only reason to include this at the end of the tournament, and I'm very aware of that at the time, because this directly plays into the fact that, hey, this has been built on slowly over the course of the whole series. Some arcs more so than others, but it's been there in the background as a thing to be worked towards. Now it's been unveiled properly. The setup, build-up, and delivery have been very good. Next to perfect, I'd argue. But why didn't I bring that up in my critical analysis video? Because I was lazy.
But it deserves to stay. The point is, this changes up the entirety of the tournament, and the way being in it affects the combatants, not just Jiren and Goku. It makes us feel for Jiren, and grow to care for his struggle, and opens him up to let everyone see his true motivations. Even if there's something simple like, I have to protect my universe and keep the promise I made to my best friend Toppo, who's always been there for me and who I owe my life to. It ultimately doesn't matter what his actual motivations for being in the tournament are, as long as we can see them and they aren't stupid. Arguably one of the best.
So this is another example of unrelated footage. Also, this, technically speaking, is not my footage. I did not play the Dune 2016 and pull this footage. I own it on the Switch, but I have no way to record that footage. So I just took it from somewhere else. I actually remember where this is from, though. It was some random episode of Team 4 Stars Dune 2016 playthrough back in the day. I remember that. But with the other example, and with another you'll see later on, I have no idea. That is not okay. Also, we're just going to listen to the narration for a second.
Best parts about a well-written, see them and they aren't stupid. Arguably one of the best parts about a well-written antagonist or rival, or whatever, is seeing them crack. If they're putting on a persona, or relying on one thing and one thing alone to get what they want, breaking that persona or shattering that thing, what does that person do then? The problem is still right there in front of them, and they need to deal with it right now, but have lost the one tool they had to do it. So what is their response? Get this part.
So, I think I need to point this out. How's it going, Max? I am tearing apart my old Dragon Ball Super video. It is 17 minutes long and almost all of it is garbage. I've been doing it for quite a bit. Basically, I'm just going, hey, we're just watching the video, and then I have a list of notes on my other monitor that I took last night because I was bored. Didn't want to sleep yet. I'm basically just taking apart this video because, God, it sucks in many ways. I hate it so much that I made a new one, and even then, that video isn't very good. At the very least, it's not good enough for what I wanted. So I'm probably going to tear into that. I might do it at the end after this video. In fact, I probably will. Yeah, sounds like a good idea to me. So yeah, basically, I want to go back and just listen to the audio one more time. Actually, no, never mind. I already know what it is. Basically, what I'm talking about here is, oh, well, actually, best part of a well-written antagonist is seeing them crack. They're putting on a persona or relying on one thing to get what they want, breaking that persona or shattering that thing. Why is that true? Is it true? Did I just pull this out of my butt to make it seem like I know what I'm talking about? Yes. But more importantly, I need, in this scene, this part of the video, to either not bring it up at all if it doesn't mean anything to my overall analysis, or properly elaborate on why this is in fact the case. I did neither. So, that is not okay.
But have lost the one tool they had to do it. So what is their response? Get this part right, and people will at least remember that character.
How is that the case? This needs to be elaborated on.
Screw this up, and that character loses all narrative meaning.
This is both incredibly harsh and flat out incorrect.
This is why I adore villain characters in fiction.
This is not how I adore, or why I adore villain characters in fiction. A well-written antagonist has a believable and understandable motivation that actually makes sense once you look at it from their perspective, and might honestly be the better one. Their way of doing things or their methodology might be better than the protagonist's, but it's their lack of empathy that makes them the antagonist rather than the protagonist. That's one example of what makes a well-written antagonist. I did not mention that in this video, nor did I even know that was the case. I just literally made something up to try to sound intelligent, like I know what I'm talking about. When if you actually take 2 seconds to think about it, it's very clear that no, that's not the case. And then I should have actually put more effort into this.
Because that response has almost limitless possibilities, and are more often than not immensely interesting and entertaining. If you want to know what makes a good villain or antagonist, play Borderlands 2 and seriously study Handsome Jack.
Oh, them low-res images. Okay, so once again, this is not me recording this footage. This is not footage I ever recorded from my hard drive. This is not me playing the game. This is example number 3 so far of taking footage from somewhere on YouTube and ripping it and then throwing it in my timeline. This is the 3rd time I've done this so far in the video. I don't even remember whose video this is from. This is from like 2 years ago. So, what's up with that? The answer is I was lazy. And stupid. Again, one step away from actual plagiarism, nowhere near okay.
A horrible person. Yes, he is the bad guy. And yes, he spends the entirety of the game trying to get you killed. But god damn if he doesn't make me feel for his cause in the end.
Also, yeah, we just now heard that music is in fact actually playing. The track I'm playing is so quiet that it's almost impossible to tell there even is any music at first, until roughly now.
When you oppose his cause, he reacts by sending more and more killer robots at you. And when that doesn't work, he summons something that I can't say because of spoilers. Seriously, play the game. It is so good.
Actually, the fact that the music cuts out when the video does is not terrible.
And when that doesn't work, he completely breaks down, unable to grasp the fact that he's lost, screaming out,
"You are a bandit, and I am the goddamn hero!"
Coupled with his actions and his interactions with you throughout the entire game, it's clear that he's riddled with so much personality that in the end, it's hard not to like him. Unlike Jiren, his tool that he uses to solve any problem is simply strength. Being a strong boy. It's why he's fighting in the tournament, it's why he joined the Pride Troopers, the greatest fighting team of justice since Power Rangers, and it's what he turned to as a coping mechanism for his childhood trauma. So it's no wonder then that he's constantly babbling on about only strength can be relied on in this world, which is only an interesting ideal when it is shown to be unreliable.
I do actually kind of like this line. Once shattered strength is so fragile. It kind of works with what I'm talking about right here. The fact that strength trumping all else is only interesting when it's proven to be unreliable. I do generally think that to be true. If one character is just so unbelievably and effectively boring and lifeless, that is the entirety of their personality. Just strength is good. Break it. That will make them more interesting.
As is the case of Goku swimming in Ultra Instinct juice for 30 minutes.
I do think that line's kind of funny. But, you know, if I want to be more accurate, 20 minutes would be a better estimate.
But in response to his only reliable tool being broken, he simply pulls a bigger one out of his ass and claims that this one is the real one and this one can never be broken. And when it's broken, he's eliminated, gives up, and dies with the rest of his universe, only reeling at the fact that he lost a fight. What a guy. Now I've spent the overwhelming majority of this video talking about Jiren, because the way the arc was written didn't really give me any other choice.
How is that the case? How did the arc being written the way it was give me no other choice? I didn't elaborate on this at all.
Even before the tournament started, it was brought up by Toppo that Jiren was the guy
Didn't mean to do that.
to beat. And literally half of the tournament is based around him and his fight with Universe 7. So in the end...
This isn't in my notes, but I made a little hand motion there. Like, I was expecting to put something up there in the editing process. I didn't. So, you know, might want to plan that out a bit better.
if he isn't a good character...
There actually is an example of me doing that in my later Dragon Ball Super video, which I don't know if I'll show off right now or after this. How long have I been going for? Almost 2.5 hours? Nah, I'll probably cut it after this.
The fight isn't good. And if the fight isn't good, the arc isn't good, and you've just wasted your audience's time. Now, you may argue against that, to which I would respond with this. If Jiren was a character in real life, our real life, would you genuinely care for him? Or anything about him? This is my thought process for beginning to analyze important characters, and I encourage everyone to do the same. You'll have a lot more fun out of so many characters in media.
You could really tell there that my focus is constantly being shifted back and forth between the script that I'm reading and the camera that I'm supposed to be looking at to deliver lines properly to your face, you know? It's very obvious that that's happening. Even with the glare on my glasses, it's very obvious.
After nearly 7 pages of...
Also, look, more TFS gaming footage that I just stole. Because I'm dumb.
Digging deep into Jiren and the problems with super storytelling...
I didn't dig deep into anything.
...and character writing in the Tournament of Power, I feel I should leave you all with this fact. I love Dragon Ball. I have all my life, and I always will. As a franchise and as a series, it may mean much, much more to others than it does for myself, but I will always love it for what it is. And it's that...
Really? Will I always love it for how it is? Because I'll tell you right now, my opinion of the series is that it is a series of, like I mentioned it previously, but it is a series of decent moments to good moments strung together by nothingness. There are sequences I appreciate. There are moments I enjoy. But the series as a whole, I cannot watch. It is not that good. If you're watching Dragon Ball Super with the intent of being entertained, You probably will be. If you're watching Dragon Ball Super with the intent of making sense of this and trying to really understand everything, you're not going to have a good time.
Love for Dragon Ball that prompted me to write this video in the first place. I bash and lampoon the points I do because, frankly, the show deserves better than those points. Dragon Ball Super is great, but it does.
Really, is it though? I don't know. I was a lot more optimistic back then. Now I'm just more sad and cynical. And especially after making my other video, I just don't like this series as a whole. Like, as a full series, it's not good. As a series of moments, it is decent to good to great. With some parts being perfection. Some parts. Not many. But enough.
Deserves to be better.
Well, enough, well, rather, I should say enough for, like, a much, much shorter series. Not one that's 131 episodes long.
It deserves to be
Plus a movie.
breathtaking. And one day, I believe it will be. But to do that, we need to take a critical look at it and examine all of the things it does wrong. Because in doing that, we get knowledge that we can use to make it right.
Hey guys.
So that's effectively the end of the video. After that, there's a bit of an unscripted epilogue where I basically say, hey, it's 3 in the morning, I'm recording this on my phone, thanks. Like, comment, subscribe, that kind of thing. I appreciate the fact that it's here, but it needs some kind of visual to make it interesting. Because right now we're looking at nothing, especially when I ended the video on a black screen. There needs to be something here to make it visually distinct. And there's nothing. So what am I supposed to look at? Nothing. If I were to scrub through this, there's not even an end card. Which it makes sense as to why there wasn't one when I first released this video, but now that it has been almost 2 years, I should have had one there. Especially if I was going to keep it completely blank like that. Because, oh boy, that's just not very good. I'll just tell you that right now. Not good. So yeah, so that's that. I don't know. If we want to dig into my 30-minute Dragon Ball Super video that I made, like, in June of last year, we totally can. I'm down for it right now. Otherwise, I'm good. What do y'all want? Do we want to just start digging into video? I don't know. I'm gonna guess no. It's probably a good idea to just probably call it here. So I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed that. I always enjoy tearing apart bad stuff, especially if I did it. That makes it extra fun and special. So I'm gonna upload this VOD. I'm gonna watch it. I mean, especially watch the wrong end. The Victim's Memoir wrong end of Chapter 2. Because, man, that's just good stuff. And then I'm go do some other stuff. I can probably work on scripting another video a little bit. I've got one in the works. I need to finish scripting it properly, and then after that, I'll be ready to start the narration. Since I'm already holding this thing, I can do both at the same time. Dang it.